Hey y'all, hey. Okay, so I'm gonna just come and state this quickly because I was just watching this YouTube video where there were a couple of women, and it was like a guy who was doing like a talkover, and there were a couple of women who were basically stating that women are the problem when it comes to the dating pool right now, or when it comes to dating. And the guy he chimes in. Basically, one of the females, she's basically saying, she sees women who are actually married get online, and when they get online and they state what a married woman and her husband does for each other in order for their marriage to stay afloat, that it's always in the comments there are women, black women, in the comments saying she's a pick-me, and basically just saying that, having negative comments and stuff of that nature. And the guy, of course, he pops in and he's basically saying us women we're delusional, or the women are delusional, and there's a lot of black women who operate in this space. When I think about this topic, I feel like what people aren't doing is like paying attention to the time. If we really paid attention, I feel like social media, what they show us or what we choose to watch, the type of music that industries allow to be played, the type of shows that network stations push out to our culture, to us, and we feed off of it. If we think about back in the day when they used to rip the black man out of the household and send him off to jail for little dumb things, even back to slavery where they would take the black man out of the household, I feel like this right now is just another step to it. It's the same thing, just in today's society. And unless we start to pay attention and not feed into what is being thrown at us, we're going to continue like this and it won't change. I feel like women the times have changed. Back in the day when we see a lot of those successful married couples who are now well into their 80s and 70s and stuff of that nature, and they are happily married and stuff like that now, back in the day, those women, they dealt with infidelity. They dealt with their man maybe not having so much, and them having to pour in to their husband or help their husband along the way. Even when you see successful couples right now in today's society, like our age, I'm in my 40s. So those guys, a lot of those guys were not as successful, or would not be as successful, if there wasn't like a strong woman beside them. I feel like in today's society, women, or men in general, like nobody is really taking their vows into full consideration when you're getting married. I think people are turned on or excited about the proposal, or just saying, yes, someone picked me, this guy picked me forever. But what it means to truly be married, for better and for worse, people forget that for worse part. And soon as the man does something, or female does something that is bad or worse, everybody's ready to flee. And that is what is the problem with a lot of like the marriages that are leaving right now, where everybody just feels like they can just get somebody else. You just dispose of your marriage easily. Nobody feels like, and I'm not saying I condone cheating. I don't condone cheating, but I do feel like people need to pay attention to the male species as a whole. And even when you think about animals, or even when we think about the Bible and the beginning, and there was just Adam and Eve, and you wondering how, if the man was given the task to procreate, like I'm not saying it's okay too, but I do feel like the notion of monogamy is man-made. I feel like we've created that. We've created this system where the male has to, or he should only be with one person. And I believe in monogamy, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm realistic. Like, I don't feel like if your husband should have a moment that requires divorce. That's craziness. Now, if he has a habit that he can't go and get fixed, then he should not be married. Adultery is one of the only reasons outside of death that you are able to get a divorce. So I understand women who decide to leave their husband when he does cheat, but I feel like, back to the point of the female saying that it's just us black women, I disagree. I feel like there are a lot of men out here as well who are not doing the work. I feel like women, we are built to take on more than men. Yes, men are strong and physical, and physicality, like their body strength and stuff of that nature. But when it comes to emotions, I feel like men are weak. They can't handle being cheated on. When they really do let their guard down and allow a female into their space and they fall in love, it's really hard to get that same man again, even if he decides to love someone else. So I feel like we have a lot of broken men out here, same way we have broken women. You got a lot of men out here with mama issues, daddy issues, middle child issues, just trauma, got their heart broken or whatever. And you got women out here with daddy issues, molestation, like all type of different issues. And in most cases, women are the ones who will actually step back and do the work. We'll go to therapy. We'll stop having sex. We'll take time to ourselves. We will literally go on a healing journey to try to be better. And I feel like people don't acknowledge that as much. And I'm not saying all women do. I know that there are a lot more women who will go to therapy to try to get better than the men. Men are egotistical in most cases to where they don't want some stranger telling them what they need to do. And rightfully so. I don't feel like, you should need someone to tell you, but if you don't know how to help yourself, it is always best to go get help from someplace else. I say all that to say, I don't feel like it's all one-sided. I feel like the things that we are allowing, or the things that are coming to us as a culture and as a society, like with the things that we watch, the things that we intake, I feel like they're continuing to do this to us. If they can keep the black man and the black woman apart, they are succeeding. We are stronger together. I'm telling you. And they know this, which is why you see the type of music that come out. And now every guy is saying that every female is a gold digger, and every female is saying that the guy is broke and he's emotionally unavailable. Like, women are saying the same thing, men are saying the same thing, but none of us seem to come together. Like, everybody's patience. I think a lot of people need to just practice sitting alone, no phone, no noise, no nothing, 10 minutes at a time. Shit, start at 5. You notice how uncomfortable that silence is. It's like no one has patience anymore. If you ever on the phone and you contacting somebody, if you ever realize you on the phone and you contact somebody and and you asking them for something and they need to look for it and it gets quiet. Some people get very uncomfortable in that silence. Like, what is wrong with silence? But I feel like no one has patience nowadays. So even when you are meeting someone, and I'm working on this myself. Like, my patience level used to be shot. The person comes and we're expecting the person to be 100%. It does not work that way. We as women, we see and can catch what men don't catch, which is why we both need each other. I need the man. We as women, we need men, and the men need us. Our culture, we are the only ones who feel like we can move out here by ourselves, and they want us this way. The women now are making their own money. We're able to provide for ourselves, take care of our kids. Half the time, we make more money than the men that we are entertaining. I still feel like even though you may make more than that man, he is still a man. So you need to treat him as such. Just money is money. It's literally about how the man can treat you. You can see you have some people who are financially challenged, but their character, how they show up, you just know they're going to make it. You just know that they're going to make it. But there are people out here who won't touch them because of where their finances are. I myself, you don't have to come already put together. But there are certain parts of you that need to be together in order for me to work with where you are. And I think for all of the women that are out here, you're online and you're looking at all these people who are getting married and you think they got something perfect. You looking at all these people out here who are in their 60s and 70s and 80s and shoot 50s, and they having a happy marriage, but you do not know what happens when the camera shuts off, or you don't know how they got to that part. There are some women out here who really do, when they say their vows, they mean it. Men are who they are. Women, we are who we are. If our men would stop wasting time chasing this illusion of a good woman, because a lot of the men are getting their heart broken because you're dating, or you're trying to pursue, or you are dating someone who you know you shouldn't even be dating. She's out of your league, or you know that you see flags, you saw red flags, and then you get your heart broken, and it's harder for y'all men to recoup because y'all not gonna go do no therapy. So now the next female got to sit here and try to piece you back together instead of, because and we all do that, I guess. We always want the person who don't want us, thinking that we can make them want us. Or a lot of guys say they don't want a female who is money hungry or a gold digger or whatever, you know. But these same very guys, they use what they have, they use their financial resources to get a female. Y'all don't even vet properly. Even in my day, even in me dating, some of the men, and I'm not saying don't vet me, because I'm vetting myself. Like, I'm going to make you vet me. We're going to vet because I'm vetting you before we even go out. I don't need you to be trying to plan a date before we have talked on the phone a couple of times. We FaceTime, and it's a vibe. Even when we're FaceTiming, we align on morals and values and how we choose to show up for people when nobody is watching. I could care less what you do on social media. I don't need to see your social media page. You don't need to see mine. I care about your character, who you are to people, how do you show up for the people that are around you, and how you handle people in general. I feel like if people were just, men and women, you just vet properly or more, you'll stop wasting your time going out here trying to splurge on these $300 dates. And the first date don't need to be that much. Y'all worrying about the aesthetics, the pictures, and oh, he took me here, and oh, he took me there. But when that honeymoon phase falls out and the phone calls start to dwindle away and those dates stop, because ain't nobody, we are in, y'all know what's going on here, these gas prices and the groceries and the food and just living in itself. I could care less about a damn eating $300 worth of food. What you got in your stock account? Can you teach me something about that I don't know about what's going on with stocks or purchasing property, like business aspect wise? Like I feel like we are still moving like folks got the money from COVID. That is gone. People are in prison because of what they did with that money or whatever, and people need to just get out of that. Our brothers are trying as best as they can. The women are trying as best as they can. All parties need somebody. You need to talk to somebody, some type of therapy or something of that nature. It is not just one-sided. There are men who are coming out straight dogging women because they've been hurt, and we all know that hurt people hurt people. Women are out here just trying to get what they can get from guys because they're broken and don't want to do the work to make their own money and get themselves together. So you're looking for a guy to take care of you. You should never be in a situation, and my daddy always taught us, you should never be in a situation where you need a man. You can want him, but you should not need him. You should be self-sufficient enough to where you don't need him, but you want him in your life. You can survive on your own, take care of yourself on your own. And I feel like if people would just operate in that space more, we would probably not be in a situation that we're in, or not as bad as what we are in. Everybody is looking for people that are coming 100% whole, and it just doesn't work like that, because everybody should be, we're always forever healing. We're always going to be on a journey. And if you are if you are working on you properly and showing up the way in which you want someone to, or how you want someone to treat you, in all honesty, you should attract that back. Now, we do know that there are times where people just going, what you call those energy vampires, they are always out here. But your discernment should be better, to the point where you can discern quicker so that your feelings don't get hurt. You ain't got to waste time. You ain't got to go on no date to find out or to realize that this ain't, you and this person are aligned. You can have that in a conversation, a little 20-minute conversation in most cases. A lot of us are wasting our time going on all these dates, or you just trying to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, men and women. You see the flags, we all see the flags. People will just stop ignoring the flags and go after what works best for you. And that's not even to say that you won't think that you're getting what's best for you, that you won't absolutely get into a relationship and it do be going great, and for some crazy odd reason y'all don't end up together. If we paid attention, just realize that whatever happens in life is not happening to you, it's happening for you, which means you get into a relationship. If something doesn't work in that, the relationship ends. Yes, you're human. You got to be able to learn to sit with your emotions, sit in what feels uncomfortable. But even in that, instead of pointing a finger at what someone else did, you can look at what they did, but you also have to look at what the lesson was inside of that relationship. What did you learn from it? And that has been something that I feel, for me, has been like a big eye opener. Whenever I'm going through, whenever I have a breakup or whatever, yes, I do look at what that person did to me. I feel all of the feels of what the person did to me. However, I always look at what I missed, what the lesson in it was. What did I not pay attention to that I should have paid attention to? And if we all take our blinders off and stop trying to run after what is not aligned and what is not for us, and pay attention to what we consume. Stop listening to certain type of music. Stop watching certain type of shows. I don't watch none of that craziness, because that stuff right there, it keeps perpetuating what we're going through right now. People online making skits about men cheating, women cheating. Like, y'all, people are making content on the very thing that we are trying to get away from, and people are laughing. You're doing it for clicks, but you don't realize when y'all put that out here, that still and we watching it. It still keeps perpetuating the situation, and we won't be able to get away from it. So I would just say, I don't feel like it's one way or the other. I feel like all parties need to pay attention. All parties need to do the work. I do feel like there are just a lot of still broken people out here, and we are all responsible for our own healing. Nobody else is responsible for you to heal. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Till next time. Peace. Bye.